Hi friends, welcome to Cricket Caviar. I have Siddharthan with me. We are both rocking yellow today because it is the time for IPL and it is the time for CSK preview. Specifically CSK, one of the most successful teams, if not the most successful team in IPL, 2023 champion CSK are going to start their journey on 23rd March. I believe that's the first match, right? And they are participating in that first match. And
That's right.
Siddharthan, I want to hear from you because you have been behind this team for a long time. And how's the Josh? Like, how are you passionate about the IPL this time?
Thanks for the welcome, Prateek. Yeah, the Josh is very, very high. I have an old shirt with just 3 stars, but I want to make that six this year. I'll have my
Oh,
pen ready to make that six. Yeah, exciting year for CSK. I'm still hurting a little bit from last year's loss against RCB, where we missed out on qualification just by the barest margins. But I think the team has done a good job in the auction this year. So I'm very, very
yes.
excited for this preview. I think CSK will definitely make the playoffs, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So we can look at the squad composition, see what are the team's strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, definitely. Let me share my screen as well. I have prepared some slides for our meeting today, and this one. Okay. Let me know, Siddharthan, when you can see my slide.
Yeah, I can see the slides.
Okay. So, oh, I think I'm showing you the other.
It's loading, I can see it.
Yeah, sorry, I think I was sharing the wrong screen. Let me share it again. Perfect. You should share, see the one with the, uh, I think I'm showing it the right one now.
Yeah, I
Okay,
can see it. That's
perfect. So let's get started. Shikhar is also here. Shikhar, IPL time, IPL fever, 2 months this tournament is going to be. And let me tell you that we will be glued to our screen even though it's 2 months tournament. This is how special IPL is, IPL cricket is. And again, just to quickly recap, I want to tell my viewers IPL, 10 teams are still participating. And we are going to have a lot of discussion here on this channel. We are going to have a lot of fights in this channel when we will be behind our backing our teams. 13 venues, guys. So again, this they have kept it interesting. I don't know why still Rajasthan Royals, Delhi Capitals, and I'm missing one team, but they have two venues. Punjab. They still
Punjab.
have two venues. So yeah, I want to firstly ask you guys about like what do you think this gives them an advantage or a disadvantage when these three teams have multiple venues, home venues?
I can. I think Punjab has an advantage in the sense that they play a lot at Dharamshala, and actually they moved to this new stadium. They're not going to play in the old stadium in Mohali, I think. But
Yeah,
yeah, for them, I think it's an advantage. But Rajasthan playing in Guwahati makes zero sense to me, honestly. And
yeah.
same for
Delhi playing
Delhi
in
Capitals. I
Vizag.
think they're playing in White Side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah,
Over to
and
you,
again,
Shikhar.
we have seen another big talking point is the impact player rule, right? Like it made a lot of news. Some people like it, some people absolutely hate it as it disbalances the proper way cricket has been played over the years, 11 players. But I just wanted to quickly hear from you guys. What do you think about the impact player, and should it have been stayed around this time?
I think the totals of 250, 260, which we saw last year, was primarily due to the impact player rule. I kind of like it. We want this is not Test cricket, this is IPL. You want to see those high chasing matches. So I like the rule, but it does
Hmm.
kill damage teams like CSK a little bit because they're a team reliant on all rounders, and all rounders go out of the game when
Yeah.
impact players come in. But I like it. It's an exciting.
Yeah, it is very exciting. So let's move to CSK preview. I want to hear more from Shikhar and Siddharthan. But let me kick off by saying that they had a very good auction, as Siddharthan mentioned. They spent 119 crores and 95 lakhs. And the cornerstone of their strategy was all-rounders. 46% of this budget was spent for all-rounders, 27% on batters, and 27% on bowlers. This already shows, Siddharthan, that they are looking for versatility rather than specialized skills. But I will let you take over the preview. I just want to show the homeboys coming back. We have a fascinating opener in Rachin and Gaikwad, and Mahi Bhai magic still continues, or does it continue? Is it an advantage, disadvantage? Now I want to hear from Siddharthan and Shikhar to take us more on the CSK preview journey.
Right. Uh, the squad is an interesting one. Like I said, lots of all-rounders. That's been the CSK strategy over the years. It's a
Yes,
very
actually.
money-ballish team. You don't have the likes of, I don't know, somebody like a Travis Head or a Glenn Maxwell, Nicholas Puran, the big shows,
Yeah,
CSK relies on scrappy players, the kinds of Sam Curran, Nathan Ellis is a great addition. I'm not sort of an all-rounder, but
yeah,
it's a scrappy dogfighting personality that CSK goes after. If you go back in history, somebody like Albie Markle,
yeah,
even somebody like Ravindra Jadeja, very, very, versatile cricketers. Now, squad-wise, I think for the first time ever, CSK, say with confidence that death bowling looks solid. I think with Mahisha Pathirana coming in and Khalil Ahmed, I think CSK's death bowling is going to look solid, and that's what I'm super excited about. And
yeah,
you also have Mukesh Chowdhury, who's a left armer. We
yeah.
can go into the probably we can go order by order. I'll start with the squad that we have there, the
Yeah,
playing
I
12.
wanted to
That's the
get
most
quick
ideal.
thoughts from Shikhar before we deep dive into
Yeah.
the particular 12 or the bench strength. But Shikhar, you have any thoughts before we start with the squad analysis?
No, no, I'll reserve my comments till we see the squad. So let's go ahead and see the squad.
Yes, I'm hope you can see the squad page now. I have made a fun visualization where Conway is sitting on the bench, even a talent like Conway, because it is very difficult to make 11 or 12, I should say. Right, Siddharthan?
Yeah. I until this morning, I did think was thinking it was flipping between Rachin and Conway, just like the New Zealand team at the Champions Trophy recently,
Yeah,
or even the Pakistan tour. Yeah, they're both talented players, and don't forget Conway in the 2023 title-winning run. He played a phenomenal part,
he did. He did.
forming that partnership with Gaikwad at the top. But I think Rachin Ravindra gets in slightly ahead of him, primarily because of the form that he is in, and also. He can be, I think, in the slow tracks of Chennai, if they produce a slow track, his left arm spin comes in. You will get 2 overs from a very what Raina used to do for CSK all the years back. I think Rachin has that ability to do that. And Gaikwad, the skipper, I think Gaikwad will win 2 or 3 games for CSK on his own this season, like he has in the past. If he gets at 60 or 70 in quick time, it's sets CSK really, really well. And then Rahul Tripathi and Deepak Huda, they're in there. And CSK's gate strength is that middle order of Indian batsmen.
Hmm.
Now, Tripathi and Huda, I think, will play the same role that Rahane and Robin Uthappa and Ambati Raidu played in the last few years.
Correct.
And I also think Huda's had a slightly okayish IPL in the
Hmm.
I think in the last year. But whenever players come to CSK, they have this natural knack. We see it with Uthappa, we see it with Rahane, where they'll
Yes.
start performing. So I think that's excellent. And Dube has been a murderer of spin. Like he comes, he's gonna get hit sixes.
He's a
And
different beast
Dube,
in those middle overs IPL. Ah, something to watch. Seriously, those
yeah,
towering sixes that
yeah,
planting the back leg and smashing the ballers to all parts. Like,
yeah.
oh, we love that action
And
from Dube. And he has been very
and
successful in the recent years.
yes, and even if you pepper him with the short ball, he might get out, but I think few balls will go for the six. He has worked on that weakness, not as much as Shreyas Iyer, but he has improved his short ball game significantly well.
Mm.
So Dube is in good shape, but I don't see him bowling for CSK this year. He's bowling for India whenever he plays, but CSK just is not using his bowling ability. I wish they would, but
But they
I
already
don't
have
see that
so many
happening.
all-rounders, so and bowlers,
Yeah,
specialized bowlers. So they probably
there
won't
is
need him
no
as well. Yeah.
true. Even in the Ranji Trophy recently, he
Mm.
was a prime. I think in the Ranji Trophy game against Kashmir, I think for Mumbai, Dube bowled a lot of overs, but I
Mm.
think he was second change bowler. But yeah, as you aptly said, CSK has lots of people who can deliver you. But yeah, he'd primarily be a six hitter, probably an impact player who'll get subbed out possibly. And
Yeah.
then Jadeja and Dhoni, the old war horses. Dhoni is an interesting one. We'll speak about him in the end. I really think yeah, we'll
But
come
I
back to
would know
Dhoni. He's
one
gonna
thing for sure. Jadeja would be very happy to see Ashwin back. Like the duo dominated the days, right? Like the days where CSK would win every other title. These two had played a very important role in tightening in those middle overs. So Ravi
true.
Ashwin and Ravindra Jadeja together playing. I think it's very nostalgic for fans as well because you have seen them over the years playing Test cricket for India together. We don't see that anymore as Ashwin has retired. So I'm really happy to see Ashwin back in CSK and pairing with Ravindra Jadeja in those middle overs.
Nicely put. The OG sprint fins of CSK are back. It's very
Stalwarts.
emotional. Yeah, I'm going to put the analyst in my mind away for a moment. And I'm very, very happy that Ashwin is back, going back to the 2011s and 12s when, 2010 and 11 when CSK won the championship. I think Jadeja came in 12.
Bacha, we
He
want
did.
your pure emotional analysis on what it means to fans and also what Ashwin might be feeling. Do you think he would be
I think
genuinely happy he's playing for CSK this season?
100%. Look, Ashwin's career began for India based on his performances for CSK. I read in his book that
Yeah.
he was super happy to be drafted into the team in 2008 or 9. I think he came 1 year late. And then he went to Champions League in South Africa, which he bowled phenomenally well. That's how I got to know about Ashwin. Who is
Mhm.
this guy?
Yeah.
I've seen his name in the newspapers, but then CSK really put him on the map. Uh, and yeah, it's super emotional. It's like the OG team. They spent 9.25 crores on him, if my memory serves right this year. Now,
Yes,
they could
that's
have
correct.
gone for, they let Deepak Chahar go. Deepak Chahar is a brilliant bowler, but they know that this is probably going to be Ashwin's last. He's in the fag end of his career, even in the IPL. Hope he plays for a few more years. Uh, but Ashwin needed this. The CSK's fans needed it for him to be back. Look, he was in Rajasthan, a great team a few years back. Then he was in Delhi. Then he was in Punjab. He's been to a few places.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was a little battle with RCB. RCB a few years ago. I think 2010 or
Yeah.
11. I think it's 2011 actually auction where Malaya and the CSK guys had a tussle for Ashwin. So it's a little bit reminiscent of their auction table, but yeah, super happy for him to be back.
He has such
Now
great
coming,
leadership quality too, because you see Rajasthan Royals utilize his potential fully. He was at the forefront of everything. You need a someone to come and save, like make a partnership. Ashwin was there. Wicket taking
yeah.
ability. Ashwin was there. He played so many roles for Rajasthan Royals. I would say Rajasthan Royals would dearly miss Ravichandran Ashwin this season.
Yeah. And credit to Sanakara and the team there
Mm.
for creating the floater role of Ashwin. I highly doubt CSK will experiment with that.
Yeah,
However, lower down the order if he comes out. And Ashwin's big hitting ability has improved significantly. In the
it has.
TNPL, he's hitting some big shots. Even we saw it in the Test series as well, whenever he got to bat in the recent years. Sorry, I meant that Bangladesh series. I think he scored 100 in the Chennai match. I
Yeah.
can't quite remember how many runs he scored, but I saw him play a pull shot. I was like, wow, this
I
is
actually really
different.
like that
And
shot Ashwin plays on fast bowlers. Like he judges that length quickly and he pulls the bowler for a six. He has worked on that shot actually.
yeah,
He
he
his off drives
he
are
was always
immaculate, very good off drives he
yeah
can play. But that pull shot, that it's a new
he's
invention
worked
which he's
on
done in
it.
the last few years. Yeah,
Yeah, and his timing has always been very very good. But the big shot, I'm very happy that he's added to his repertoire. I'm really
yeah.
hoping it comes good though. And
And
now
and
coming,
Siddharthan, I remember you mentioned one of the three bowlers in for the third fast bowler, right? I think Khalil and Pathirana should start, or maybe Mukesh or Pathirana. But that's the third one
yeah,
that it may be that English, all the English guys, right? Either Overton, Nathan Ellis, or Sam
Overton,
Curran.
Ellis,
But I just went with
yeah,
Sam Curran because he has played for CSK before and has delivered. I mean, has done well. Not I would say
yeah.
delivered, but he has done well. So that's why I'm
He
thinking maybe they will start with him. But Nathan Ellis and Overton are good options to have.
Definitely. In the recent England series, Overton's innings was keenly watched by, I think, I'm sure the CSK management. There are a few situations where he did try to put a fight out, but I'm not quite convinced in his finishing abilities just yet. I'm
Yeah, yeah,
hoping he
couldn't
comes
finish a
good.
game right in a couple of
Yeah,
occasions. Yeah.
yeah. And
Mm,
but yeah, his bowling could be handy. Sam Curran, former CSK player,
mm,
did well at Kings as well, I think, and great to have him back. And
yeah.
one interesting thing about CSK this year is see the number of left-handers. Uh,
Yeah, very interesting.
Khalil,
I'm glad you
Sam
pointed that out.
Curran, Mukesh Chowdhury if he plays left-handed, and even in the batting order, Rachin, Jadeja, uh, quite a few guys in there. So
Dube, yeah,
opposition would
Dube
target
is left-hander.
Dube.
Yeah.
So you got a few
And if
left-handers
Conway
in
plays,
there.
that another left-hander in the top order. Yes.
Right, right. So teams could target that, but you need a good off spinner. But I think off spin as an art is sort of disappearing, even with Ashwin.
Mm.
Now coming back to the actual analysis, I do not know if Jadeja and Ashwin will bowl 8 overs in every match. There will be games
Wow.
where Jadeja may not bowl at all. I'm not saying that will necessarily happen every game, but if you see the last few years, Dhoni will not give the ball. Sorry, Gaikwad will not give the ball to Jadeja sometimes. I mean, because the others might have done their jobs. But I
Yeah.
think it'll more be horses for courses. Going down further down the order, Noor, oh my God. So our CSK is one of those teams which has an off spinner. You
Mm.
have the slow left arm orthodox with Jadeja, and you also have Noor, who's a Chinaman, slow left arm leg spin, which is what Kuldeep bowls. Correct me
Mm.
if I'm wrong if it's Chinaman, but it's a left arm wrist spinner, which is an
Yeah.
amazing commodity to have
Yes.
because teams will stack if Ashwin is bowling in the middle overs. It's going to
Mm.
be a defensive sort of a situation where uh, teams will just have right-handers hit him out of the park. He'll be brave to toss the ball up, but
Yeah.
it's a reality that off spinners will get hit for runs. If he gives say 35 runs and picks one wicket, I'm happy with that from Ashwin this year. And Jadeja, I think he'll play his usual containing role,
Yeah.
and if any wickets are a bonus.
And
Noor, I think. Sorry, go on.
oh no, just one point. Like Ashwin and Mahi playing together, that's also going to be great because
Yes,
he
yes,
became such a smooth operator under the influence of Mahi. Like Mahi guided him behind the stumps.
100%.
But those two legends working together, I'm sure those middle overs will be fun to watch. And
Jadeja,
Ash,
Ashwin,
yeah.
the Dhoni, like it's the old guys coming together, and so you
Siddharthan,
got
tell us a
the
little bit more about those bench players. I'm sure Mahi Bhai
yeah,
will experiment in the middle. He will play some of
yeah,
those new players as well. So I don't
absolutely,
personally know much about the bench players
yeah,
except
yeah.
yeah. So let's go talk about them.
Let's do that. Let's talk about Vijay Shankar first. I mean, that guy, he is grown leaps and bounds since his 3D days, in the sense that he went to Gujarat. He
Yeah.
played under Hardik Pandya, and I think 2 years ago, he's really improved his big hitting game. And another old CSK boy coming. Will he fit into the 11? We'll find out. Another all rounder, but he's pretty damn good. Then I want to talk about Gurjanpreet Singh, who may not he's not on the slide. Oh, he's there, right? Right,
He's there. He's a
third from
fast bowler,
bottom.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So he's from Punjab, but he's a Tamil Nadu cricketer.
Okay.
So he's also a left hammer, I think. So he had a very good Ranji Trophy. I don't see him playing a game probably, but Simarjit played a game of I think last year or the one before, so he could slight chance of him coming in.
Yeah.
Shreyas Gopal, he may not get a game given the spin strength, but again, amazing cricketer. Conway, I think Conway will definitely play a game if Rachin
Definitely
Ravindra
he'll get
does not
few
perform.
games. Yeah.
But I think Rachin is also a good backup to Jadeja in the sense that if Jadeja something happens, Rachin can do that.
Yeah.
He can give you those overs as we saw. And Huda can sort of do the same thing for Ashwin with his off spin. I don't think it will be 4 overs, but I really like that
Prospect. Yeah.
ability. Yeah, the backup for
Yes.
each position. Coming back to Kamboj, I think is a Ranji Trophy cricketer. I'm not just reading the newspapers. I know he had a phenomenal season, but in the domestic cricket, I do not know if he'll get a game.
Hmm.
Kamalesh Nagarkoti,
I
look,
like
we all
him.
know that under 19 star, right? And
Yeah.
was he in KKR just before this? I think he was in
I
KKR.
think he missed
Or
the last season for some reasons, but he did decently well in
yeah,
2023 season. Both him,
yeah.
Nagarkoti, and the other, I'm forgetting his name.
Karthik Tyagi,
Yes, both were playing. Uh,
yeah,
so Nagarkoti should
and
get through some games. He's our Indian Overton basically, and he can also do that job pretty well, like bowl some overs, and uh,
right.
he can tong the ball in the end as well.
Yeah, and Nathan Ellis, I think Nathan Ellis will definitely play
He'll
one or
definitely get a couple of
few games
games.
because we saw the Champions Trophy recently. I think he is a good bowler. Like he's a CSK in the last few years, ever since Hazelwood moved to RCB, they've
Yeah,
been missing that Australian fast bowler. You had Doug Bollinger, Ben Ilfenos,
absolutely.
Dirk
Always
Mann
had
sort of
one.
a player. So
And
good to have
Mahi
Nathan
loves
Ellis.
bowler who can do good change of pace in the death overs, and Nathan Ellis is
Yeah,
known for his death bowling. And
yeah,
I know last time they had Ngidi and players who were not particularly fit for that death bowling role. So I
yeah.
think Nathan Ellis will play. Uh, he might start as well. I don't know. Yeah,
He might. Yeah, and
Yeah,
CSK last year. In the crucial game against RCB, I don't think Pathirana played, or the few important games where Pathirana missed out, which made 4 easy overs for the opposition. But this time around, you have the backups in, Pathirana himself, there is Ellis,
yeah,
possibly Overton. Like, one of these three, and Karan, don't forget Sam Karan. One of these guys will always give you those overs.
yeah.
So I was also
And
imagining
Pathirana
who will
has that
start.
ability to take wickets in the middle. Like he's just
Yeah,
amazing. I don't know why he didn't play enough matches last season. I wish that he plays at least 10 matches this
it was
time.
due to injury last
Every
year,
time the
and
captain gives him the ball in the middle overs when it's really tough, batsmen are full on attack mode. He finds the way to wicket. And his Yorker is sensational. I love a good Yorker bowler, and he's the one.
yeah. And for a long time, CSK has been searching for that impact bowler, and I'm very glad they developed Pathirana. I'm not saying it's quite in the same league as, say, Bumrah or
Malinga.
what's his name?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, Malinga, or there's this player, plays for
Jofra?
Andrich Not J or
Yeah.
Kagiso Rabada. He's not
Rabada.
quite in that league,
Yeah.
but in a few years he will be. So you
He
have
will be.
Pathirana,
He will be.
and you will have that strike bowler, who opposition will just play him. You won't take him on. You don't want to give him your
Yeah.
wickets. And then Noor Ahmed there and Pathirana this year. I'm making a bold prediction. They will stifle, really, really take opposition's wickets in the end overs. I'm thinking these guys will be the game changer for CSK this year, if
Yeah.
like in all shape out games almost, because
Especially Noor
Noor, I
will
think,
enjoy
will.
that Chepauk surface. He actually had better stats than Rashid Khan in one of the seasons for Gujarat Titans.
Wow.
So Noor Ahmed is a very valuable player if used well, which I'm sure Mahi knows how to use the
And
players well. Another important thing,
and
Siddharthan, for CSK team is home matches. I know there is a always a balance, like CSK win more matches at home. That's their strength, and we are going to dive into that section. But
yeah,
I just wanted to show this quick calendar for viewers. I feel in every IPL the start matters a lot because the way you start your tournament most likely decides like if you're going to finish in the top four. And for CSK, good news is they start with two home games. And I'm really happy to see the Siddharthan. Like they start 23rd on with the Mumbai Indians, right? And then 28th will be a
Bangalore.
game against RCB. Again, this is in Chennai. And then
Yeah.
on the 30th, they're going to Guwahati to play against Rajasthan Royals. A little bit weird scheduling you have to go for an away game with only 1 day gap. But I'm very happy they're starting with two home games, and which takes me to the next section now, Siddharthan. SWOT is very old term, Siddharthan. Strength, weakness, I hate it. So I made something new for us today. I'm calling it game. Because this
Talk about
is
game.
IPL, this is a big game, a big dog, and that's why I have named it game analysis. And thank you for sending me some points. But let's discuss these again. Like, what are the strengths? These again, I've given some description, like what game is like areas that it need improvement. So let's start
Sure
with
thing.
G gaps. So what gaps CSK currently have? They look a formidable opponent, as you said rightly, a top four potential. But what are some of the improvements or that the areas that needs improvements or weak spots?
Like I said, there can they chase 220 plus is the real question.
Yes.
Historically, in crunch games, that's where CSK has sort of failed over the years.
Yes.
The moment I remember 2014 semifinals, sorry, the playoffs game where in the eliminator they had to chase 220 plus against Kings 11 Punjab. Brilliant
Oh,
game. Brandon
that
Suresh Raina's
Raina
84 of
87 of
24.
25. Oh,
Yeah. And then the game fizzled away. So I've seen a pattern there. Last year in that final game, like must-win game against RCB, they didn't have to win. They needed to score 205 runs or something to qualify.
that's a very
It
good
came
point.
very close. So it again comes down to finishing abilities of Dhoni. And when he finishes around 8 or 10 times, CSK succeeds, but sometimes they don't.
Yeah,
And can they chase 220 plus? Other teams like KKR and SRH, they have the firepower to chase anything you put on a consistent basis. Even
correct.
RCB sometimes can chase big totals. They've done it. I think they came very, very close to chasing 250 plus total last year.
Yeah.
I think Fast Duplessis scored a lot of runs in that game. But
Dinesh Karthik,
CSK
surprisingly.
finished. Yeah. CSK does not have that big hit. You don't have Pollard as retired, but you don't have the likes of Pollard or Tim David, Nicholas Porin. These are some guys, Fraser McGurk. These are guys who just come and hit the ball out of the ground. But there
Yeah.
is one guy who can sort of makes up. There's only one guy in the team.
Yes.
I know Dube is a spin murderer, but it's not. I won't put him in the same league. But you have Rachin Ravindra, who
Rachin,
is one
yeah.
of the most complete cricketers in the world right now, in the sense that Test match he plays like a Test match. He plays it like
Yes.
a classical batsman. ODI cricket, amazing, same abilities. But T20 cricket last year,
Hmm.
sometimes his strike rate was 300. He
Yeah.
gets out, but what Travis head does for SRH is what Rachin should try and do for CSK this year. If he does that, it's a big, but that is a gap. The big the
He
and
has the
then
ability. And I think CSK will be clear about his role. Again, I see him as an explosive start opener.
Yes.
He even did that for New Zealand in the tough final against India in Dubai. Rachin started really
Yeah.
well, but it was
Yeah.
the other people who could not show enough intent.
True.
So
I
yeah,
was secretly hoping that day that Rachin should
but
do
there
well,
is
but
no,
India should win.
no harm in denying that. Yes, CSK have lacked that big finish game in the second innings.
Yeah.
First innings again, they're very
Yeah.
good at that. They accelerate their innings very well, and they strangle the opposition in the second innings. But yeah, when it comes to chasing big targets, absolutely. And
Even
then
that.
obviously you mentioned that lefties thing, right? So I have it here. We
Yeah.
have discussed that. Too many lefties.
So the likes of Sunil Narayan and opposite Glenn Maxwell, if you have an off
Oh,
spinner, bring them on. You will get wickets against CSK.
definitely.
But and
That is a strategy that other teams can use. Let's
yeah,
move to assets again. And I said all rounders, and you mentioned how the bowling has become more strong like this time. Looks definitely very good. But I want to
and
hear about MSG now. So
yes.
you had mixed feelings about the
I
his
did.
him as an
I
asset.
put my emotions as look. I think CSK is just happy to have that man on the ground just for his brains and
Yeah.
whatever energy he brings, which is very,
Yes.
very weird to bring into a sport, right? In the sense that you need actual results, but I think he has the ability to create those results behind the stumps. But coming for actual contribution with the bat, uh, let's see, 43, 44 is he is getting old. Can he still? I thought last year, whenever he came on to bat, he actually did well. Whenever you get those 30 runs of 10 balls or 25 runs of 10 balls,
Yeah.
it's phenomenal. I don't want a 40 ball 60 from my
So he
batsman.
had the
I want a
best
10
best
ball
ratio
30.
for number of balls faced to six. He was hitting six every 5.5 deliveries in the last IPL.
Yeah. That's all you want, right? 10 balls, 30 runs. Uh,
Yeah.
like it's solid. If you can produce that and say,
But I think he wasn't able to
um,
do that well in the second half of the tournament. I know he played
I
some excellent knocks in the first half of the tournament. I think Hardik Pandya, he took him on for three sixes in a row.
yeah. And
But
however, in the last game, that crucial game against Yash Dayal,
yes,
what should have gone to a six became
yeah,
a catch.
yeah,
He could hit 1 6. So if Dhoni can just give you 20 or 30 runs of 10 balls, he comes in at seven down or six down.
yeah,
He gives you that. He's done his job as a batsman. Otherwise, let's say he begins to fade. It could go either way, right? Let's say
yes,
Dhoni is not performing with the bat. Uh, I think then comes a time where CSK could start thinking about. I mean, Dhoni will play in the team, but you
hmm,
should think about the future of developing a wicketkeeper batsman who will eventually. I mean, you cannot pigeonhole. Every team is having a keeper whom they are developing, or they have a keeper with them. But we CSK, we always had only one keeper. Even the squad, Devon Conway is the only backup keeper, and there could be
only.
some Indian uncapped player. I think Avinash, if he is there in the squad,
I was
he could
exactly
be a
thinking the
keeper.
same way. Like if Dhoni's form doesn't click, it has happened in the few seasons in around 2021 or something. So is it possible that CSK might start playing with Conway? Dhoni will be there as a mentor and a strategist, and he can also, if CSK is batting second, say like he can, sorry, bowling second, he can come as a person in the field as an impact sub, maybe for wicket keeping or maybe for
Yeah.
hitting, like if needed. So we can all, there
Think
is a
time will
possibility
tell.
for that.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely start in the first few games,
Yeah.
but I think that will set the tone. I think this year will be different. If he continues to play the legend that he is, if he can deliver not just CSK, I think every cricket fan would be happy that Mahi is back to
Yeah.
playing good cricket. Only time will tell.
I
So
think IPL
hopeful.
sells like one-fourth of the tickets just because this guy is playing another
I
season.
completely agree, right? Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
but
and
yeah,
then third point is momentum, and of course, this is a very good chance, Siddharthan, for CSK to start with a good momentum. They are playing two home games, like I mentioned, and psychological advantage. Yes, I think they have with Captain Cool sitting in the dugout, MSD.
there
They do have it.
there
External
are two
factors. Let's
things
talk
there.
about external factors. Oh, sorry, you have something for
Yeah,
momentum?
yeah, I think the opening game is again it's the El Clasic of IPL Mumbai Indians. Now
Yes,
CSK,
after a long time.
uh, they have this mental edge over RCB where they more often than not CSK will beat RCB if you pull up the head-to-heads.
Correct.
Whereas with Mumbai Indians, it's the opposite where they will
Yeah.
win, but Mumbai Indians has something over CSK where I think most of the finals Mumbai plays CSK and CSK would lose. And
Yeah.
twice or thrice, maybe two times I can remember, it's a close game. And
Yeah.
so I'm excited, but there's no Hardik Pandya, there's no Bumrah in the first game. So those are advantages for CSK. And you have
Yes.
Deepak Chahar and Mitchell Santon coming. They'll definitely play those games, I feel, for Mumbai Indians against Chennai in Chepauk. So that will aid Mumbai, but it's going to be an exciting game. But you're right. And
Yeah.
RCB, I think CSK will definitely win that game on.
Yeah,
20,
I cannot
the
wait
second
to
game.
talk
Yeah,
about that game when we do the actual preview for that game. Like Mitch
that's good.
Santner is a very big like buy for MI. I think he's a great
That's a
operator, and we've
great buy.
seen him getting success all around the world recently. External factors, yeah. Again, coming back to that strategy, like you mentioned, maybe winning 5 games at home out of 7, something like that to target, so that it just becomes easier
Absolutely.
to get qualified, where you need at least
Yeah.
7 wins, I guess, 7 or 8.
CSK is very smart over the years that way. They do not, I don't think actually all teams have a great analysis. Nobody thinks I'm going to win 14 games. They're very, very realistic. You target to win 9, 10 games at best.
Yeah.
Honestly, you cross that magical 8 mark with a decent net run rate, you make it more often than not. I think 16 points is what you need to qualify,
Hmm.
and 18 is a bonus. 16 points, I mean, you could miss out like how CSK did last year, but 18
Yeah.
points is what teams will be after. So win 5 out of 7 home games and try to win 3 away. I think that should do it. And however, if you start poorly, let's say CSK loses 2 games back to back, as we saw in 2020, it can be a it can be really, really hard. But I think I'm more hopeful this year. It's a good squad.
Yeah.
Um,
In the recent
the
time, yeah,
Sabzana,
once CSK doesn't have a good season, I've seen it has been difficult for them to come back. While in the initial years, I've seen MSD turning things like need 4-4 and they would still qualify. So
yeah,
you're right. The start will definitely matter a lot here, and winning that crunch game against Mumbai can help them go a long way for sure.
yeah. I think definitely nicely put. And playing away from home, I think the advantage is the pace bowling this time around. So, and also, I do not know if they're playing Lucknow at home or away. Ekna would be one ground where CSK will have some advantage with their
And
bowling abilities with so many spinners.
And have you noticed a pattern, Siddharthan? Like in the early 2010s days, CSK's main weapons would be spinners. They would try to bowl 12 to 16 overs with spinners.
Yeah,
But lately, I've seen MS is always playing 3 pacers, right? Getting those 10, 12 overs from pacers, slow cutters, bowlers. So that is also an interesting strategy shift I have noticed.
till you said I didn't pay attention to, but you're right. You used to play the likes of Shadab Jakati, Pawan Negi,
My
and
you, man,
all these
you
guys.
remember all those people.
And then suddenly Raina will get a bowl, and then
Raina
more
too.
in the
Yeah,
recent
Raina will also
years,
be.
losing Ashwin meant they played Budgie for a few years, and then you got Moin Ali coming in. But this
Yeah.
year, if Dhoni manages to get 8 overs out of Jadeja and Ashwin every game,
Hmm.
that really sets the game up because even at Chepak, and then you got Noor coming in with 4 overs, then Pathirana with four, then you got Sankar, you got Ellis, and you got the Mukesh Chowdhury or the Khalil Ahmeds. So I'm very, very excited for the first time ever.
No, I'm very
We got
excited
a
too because last few years I've seen that CSK has to give ball to few bowlers who are not that, who are new to the stage, and sometimes they were going for a lot of runs. Even
yeah,
I'm
Mukesh
forgetting that guy's name who was the bowler in the last season. He was a hit and a
Deshpande.
miss. Huh?
Was it Tushar Deshpande?
Tushar Deshpande. He was a hit and miss. Like sometimes, yes, he would have a wicket-taking ability, but he'll go for a lot of runs. But now
Yeah,
I see they have a very good potential to again suffocate the players really because Ashwin Jadeja tons of experience. Then Noor Ahmed is a very sly operator. He will not make it easy for the batters anyway. And then Pathirana with his accuracy, and I feel like this is a very good bowling group. And yeah, it will be very tight for the batters. Which brings me to my last section. And this is the most difficult one, Siddharthan. Sorry, but I'm going to put you on the spot and I'm going to ask you to predict few of the things. We'll start with players. So you have to pick one player that you think will have a breakout season this time. One foreigner player, one Indian player, and one Indian uncapped. We make 3 categories, 2 categories from Indian players. So you go first and then I will go.
sounds good. Sounds good. Best Indian player, I'm going with the skipper, Ruturaj Gaikwad. I think he'll have a season worth
Yeah.
remembering. Probably if Rutu scores 500, 400 plus runs, CSK will
Rutu has
win
been
the.
very unlucky to not be playing
Yeah.
for India actually. So I that's
Yeah.
a very good pick. Yes.
Yeah. Best foreign player, it's a tough one. I want to say Patrana, but I'm going with Rachin Ravindra. He is coming in hot.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Rachin Ravindra. Best uncapped, CSK would not, they would not do that usually, but I'll go with Mukesh Chowdhury. I think he'll get a few games. He's not played for India yet, and
Yeah.
CSK has spent some money on him a few years. He's one of those guys who's hit or miss, but I think if he gets a game, he'll deliver. It'll be Mukesh Chowdhury. And CSK's final position, I'm going with one or two. I think they'll win the
Oh,
championship or CSK is playing the final this year.
oh wow. Woohoo! Awesome. I think best Indian player, I would go with Ravindra Jadeja. I think again, this
Wow.
might be one last season or maybe second last season. Like he has contributed a lot to CSK, and with his recent form in Dubai, like he was bowling really well. I think he's going to pick a lot of wickets in the middle order, and also because Dhoni doesn't like to come to bat earlier, right? We have seen that. So Jadeja will have a role. I know Dube has the most responsibility to have a strong finish, but Jadeja too, I think he'll be coming a little bit early. So I hope Jadeja will play with more intent this time. Last few years, I've been disappointed as a Jadeja fan because he's coming and he's just playing that singles game, the waiting game. But I really want to see Jadeja coming with fire. But I'll take a chance on Jadeja. For foreign player,
Nice.
I will go with Pathirana. I mean, very close between Rachin and Pathirana again, but Pathirana is just like my favorite, one of my favorites player to watch. And again, he will be most crucial in that 10 to 14 over phase when you need lots of wickets. Best uncapped Mukesh Chaudhary, no doubt, same. And CSK final position, again, it depends on the start. And maybe we'll do more previews. I can know better. But right now, I'm very confused between, like you said, either first two positions or a fifth or a sixth. So I'm still not sure. But
Interesting.
but I don't think they're a team like who will finish just past. They will either excel it or they will just miss it. But thank you
Excellent.
so much, Siddharthan. I really enjoyed previewing CSK with you, and I hope to see you in more other IPL previews that we'll be doing in the next few days.
Thanks, Prateek.
All right, thanks, man, and hope to see you soon. And please subscribe to Cricket Caviar, guys. If you haven't, we will be bringing IPL previews and a lot of action during the IPL as well. Thank you.